Welcome to the Worldview series. This is a collection of interviews from Harper faculty, staff, students, and administration, and members of our Harper community who are involved in international education. This is an opportunity for us to sit down and hear unique stories of the impact of international education. If you could start off by introducing yourself and what you do at Harper.
Hi, my name is Joyce Wisniewski, and I teach academic ESL, English as a Second Language. I have been at Harper College since 1996.
Can you give us a little background on your experience with international education?
So my first experience overseas was in the mid to late 1980s. I went to Hungary for a summer, and then I lived in the former Yugoslavia for about a year after I graduated from the university. Since then, I've had the opportunity to travel quite a bit. I've traveled to and have taught in Moscow, taught in Sarajevo, Bosnia, developed an English program in Cape Town, South Africa, learned a little bit more about the English language through a program at Oxford University in England, traveled to Fez, Morocco to learn a little bit more about Middle Eastern culture, as well as traveling to Chennai, India, to learn about the AIDS epidemic there.
How have your professional and academic international experiences influenced how you work as an educator?
My international experiences have greatly influenced my work. I would say that that's the original reason why I actually went into teaching English as a second language. It's afforded me the opportunity to interact with students from all over the world and integrate cultures that may not normally interact with each other.
How do you incorporate a global perspective into your classes?
Because of the nature of the classroom that I teach in, it's very easy to integrate global perspectives. I include a unit in my upper level reading course that includes concepts from Goethe Hofstede and Edward Hall and allows students to understand that their concept of time may be different from those of their classmates. Also, how they view and address authority may be quite different from their classmates. I try to emphasize that these differences should help them understand one another instead of judge one another, and that people have different cultural perspectives than they do.
Can you describe one of your favorite memories related to an international experience?
One of my favorite memories internationally was when I was working developing an English program in a township or a slum or impoverished area in Cape Town, South Africa. The township was over a million people, called Khayelitsha, and I was for sure maybe one of the only white people in that mix. My colleague and I walked into a library that was in the township that had barely a book on any of its shelves. As I was trying to recover from that devastation of seeing a library with barely any books, I saw a group of young children sitting on the floor in a circle, listening to a teacher, or maybe it was a librarian speaking to them. When they saw me, I felt like they thought they were seeing a ghost. I most likely was the first white person they had ever seen. The blonde hair probably didn't help their shock as well. I spent a month working in that township, working on an English program. And this experience helped me to have a glimpse of what it's perhaps like to be a minority, not feeling as though I fit in, always feeling as though I was stared at, always feeling a sense of being misunderstood. And I cherish that opportunity to have been put in the shoes of someone that walks daily as a minority.
If you had to sum up your international experiences in 5 words, what would it be?
I think it's quite difficult to sum up my international experience in 5 words, but 5 that came to my mind were humbling, exhilarating, fascinating, eye-opening, and beautiful.
How have you brought your experiences abroad back to the Harper community?
My integration of some of my experiences in my reading classes that had to do with both the multi-ethnic tensions as well as the racial tensions, multi-ethnic tensions in the former Yugoslavia between Serbia and Bosnia and Croatia, as well as the racial tensions in South Africa. Uh, Especially the racial tensions in South Africa, I've been able to incorporate into some of the teaching that I've done on novels that have to do with Black-white issues, especially To Kill a Mockingbird, Cry the Beloved Country, A Raisin in the Sun. And it's been an honor for me to be able to incorporate and form my teaching around real life experiences, people that I've talked with that have walked a really hard road in these countries. And this has allowed my students to understand that the novels that we're reading are not just fictional situations, but that real people have been affected by what happened. And so this is made for very rich discussions and I think a real sense of lifelong learning.
Thank you for joining us for our Worldview Series interview today. If you would like to keep in touch with what we're doing in the Office of International Education at Harper College, feel free to check out our social media accounts. They're all tagged in the description below.